Dear AI aspiring engineers, welcome to our channel Alex Tech Project. Today we try to see what are the questions it has been asked in the screening test. The first question, without further delay, now let us jump into the test. Which of the following measures of a central tendency is not affected by extreme values? It's nothing but the median. In the normal distribution, what percentage of the data falls within one standard deviation of the mean? It is nothing but the 68, and 2 standard deviation it is 95, and 3 standard deviation is 99.7. So in this one, 68 percentage is the answer. Which of the following is used to measure the strength and the direction of the relationship between two variables? It is nothing but the correlation coefficient. When performing the EDA, what does the term feature scaling refers? Feature scaling refers to normalizing or standardizing the numerical features. When dealing with multivariate data, which technique is best suited for reducing the dimensionality while retaining the most of the variance in the data, which is nothing but the principal component analysis, PCA? Which of the following is the common method for detecting the multicollinearity in a data set? That is VIF, variance inflation factor. Which of the following technique can be used to handle the imbalanced data set in the classification problem? SMOTE, synthetic minority oversampling technique. What does the term heteroscedasticity refers in the regression analysis? Variance of any residuals is constant across all the levels of any independent variables. Text of an EDA, what is QQ, quantile quantile plot is used to assess if a data set follows a specific distribution. So one is a standard, other one will be the data set, whether it is follow the specific distribution. That is B is the answer. Now let us move to the 10th. In the context of the linear regression, explain the concept of overfitting. See, overfitting occurs when the model performs well on the train but poorly on a new data, that is test data. So this is nothing but the overfitting. B. What is the purpose of a Durbin-Weston statistic in the linear regression analysis? To test autocorrelation in the residuals. So this C is the answer. What is the consequence of multicollinearity in a linear regression model? So it causes a regression coefficient to be unstable. Each time it will try to vary, and which can be detected by the VIF method. B is the answer. What is the purpose of a Durbin-Weston statistic in a linear regression analysis? You can see it is to test autocorrelation in the residuals mean error. What is the effect of using L1 regularization term in a regression? L1 regularization, it penalizes the logic coefficients and tend to drive some coefficient into exactly 0. This is the one is the answer. Explain the concept of an ROC AUC in the evaluation of a classification model. ROC curve plots sensitivity versus 1 minus specificity. AUC is the area under the ROC curve. B is the answer. So in this 15, now let us move to the page number 2. What is the purpose of a sigmoid function in a logistic regression? To convert the probabilities into the binaries outcome. In the context of a decision tree, what is the bias variance trade-off? How it manifests in a tree models. Explain the concept of an information gain and its roles in building a decision tree. You can see information gain measures the a reduction in entropy. So this is the first level which will be splitting best features and split on. Support vector mission in a non-linear kernel. What does this kernel function? It projects the data into high dimensional space to make it linearly separable. How does the use of a Laplace smoothing address the issue zero probabilities in naive Bayes classification? It adds a small constant to all feature probability to avoid zero probability and handle the unseen features. What are the potential pitfalls using very high value of a k in KNN? So very high value of anything is called underperforming. It is not overperforming. It is underperforming because everything it will try to classify as single. B will be the answer. What is the role of bootstrapping in a random forest algorithm? Bootstrapping involves creating multiple subsets of a training data by sampling with replacement is very important, which helps training diverse and reduce and overfitting. So B will be the answer. In the context of a random forest, what is the role of an OOB? The following is not a typical characteristic of a bagging. Bagging and 25th will be the boosting. Bagging will be the combining a model through majority voting or averaging. This is building the model sequentially where each new model corrects the errors of the previous one, reducing the overfit by averaging the multiple models. Training multiple models on a different subsets of a data. So bagging it will be the parallel, not in a sequentially. So this 3 is the not in a typical characteristics of a bagging model. You can see the C1. In boosting, what is the role of weighing in a training process? Weighing adjusts importance incorporately classified example to focus the model on a harder examples in the subsequent iterations. What is the purpose of a regularization in a linear regression? How does L1 and L2 differ? Regularization first of all prevent the overfitting by adding penalty. L1 will be the lasso and L2 will be the risk, and L1 can zero the sum of the coefficient and L2 shrink. This A will be the answer. How does k-mean algorithm get optimal value of a clusters? This is album method. K-means algorithm does not determine the number of cluster. In the album method help plotting within the cluster. WCC again is the number of a cluster. So where it is adding some cluster yield the dimension return. A will be the answer. This is Silla score is also related to the k-mean cluster. So it is calculating the ratio of an average within the cluster to the out of the cluster. So the average distance is the Silla score. Why might model have high accuracy? A model with high accuracy not always be the best choice for the classification problem with imbalanced data set. 29th. High accuracy can be misleading because it's imbalanced data set. So in the classification we not only checking the accuracy, but we need to see it's imbalanced, and we try to see the precision recall and F1 square. What is the significance of an adjusted R2 and R2? Adjusted R2 will take the parameters, that is features, into the consideration. Now adjusted R2 will be the better rather than the R2. What does the following code does? This is the dot product of an a comma b, so which is nothing but as a matrix multiplication. It is not a element wise multiplication, it's a matrix multiplication. What is the output of the following? This is the data frame and this is the dictionary. You can see A is the column 1 2 3, B is the column 4 5 6. So A and B as the column, and values in the A column will be 1 2 3, B column will be the 4 5 6. I log 1, it is asking. I log 0 is A1 and B4. I log 1 will be the A2 and B5. A2 and B5 will be the answer because index is 1. What is the output of the following? So A, B, C we have given, B and C they have given with some default values. So now you can add this one, 35, 40 and 45 will be the answer. A will be the answer. What is the output of the following code? 34, x plus y, this is nothing but the string. So you can see there is space is there, hello space world. So this is the hello world string concatenation. Which of the following, which will be the output of the following code? You can see x is equal to, so now function 1 will be called, list 1 will be, and next one will be called with 1 comma 1, it is appended. So you can see C1 will be the answer, not A. It is tricky. A and C will be the, we will try to consider, but after executing we can see the C is the right answer and the rest we cannot. Which of the following is the correct syntax to read a CSV? pd dot read underscore CSV file dot CSV will be the right answer, B. How you create a new column in a pandas data frame based on the transformation of the existing? You can select the existing column and do some operation, you can find the new, that A will be the right answer. And similarly, how do you filter the rows? Similarly, you can write the condition on a given column and after that one again you can apply the df. What is the purpose of the standard scalar class in a scikit-learn? To standardize the feature by removing the main and scaling to the unit variance, x minus mu divided by standard deviation. Method do in a scikit-learn, fit the model to the data, training the model. So it will be learning the patterns. Which activation function is most commonly used in layers of a neural network? That is called CNN, that is a ReLU. What is the, in the convolution neural network, what is the purpose of a polling layer? Polling layer to reduce the dimension of the feature maps and retain the important information. Polling, max polling. Main advantage to use dropout in the neural network. So first, dropout is used to prevent the overfitting. So the B will be the answer. Which optimization is known as adapting learning rate during the training? AGT, match gradient descent with women. These three are the not. Adagrad will be the answer. Adagrad, RMS prog, Adam will be adapting the dynamic learning rate during the training. So Adagrad will be the answer. In the neural network, what is the issue commonly associated with long-term dependencies in sequence? Vanishing gradient will be the answer. What does fine-tuning refer to? The context of a pre-trained language by adjusting the parameters of a pre-trained model on a specific task or in a data set. 47. NLP. What is the purpose of name entity recognition? Name entity means name, location, organization. These three it has to identify. Here it is also called dates, but location, names, organization. What is the prompt engineering in the context of a generative language model? Designing the prompt to guide the generation of the text by the model. Yeah, this will be the right. Which method is used NLP to convert the words into the numerical vector? Numerical vector is embedding. If you converting into the number, that is called tokenization. I think this is embedding because it's numerical vector. What is the primary purpose of the LangChain? LangChain to provide tools and abstract for building application that uses the LLM effectively. So it is a chain between the tools and a large language models. So B will be the right answer. So I hope you have enjoyed this screening test. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment section and we try to meet in the next video. Until then, bye. Take care.